we previewed this game, we looked at the card and said, yeah, I like this match, this match. But the thing is that it did not have the Andre Hogan quality. We said this last week. We looked at it and said, okay, two friends going at it, kind of like Brett and Davey Boy Smith from '92 in SummerSlam. We looked at this and say, okay, MJF and Adam Cole going to have a great match, but it wasn't the heel versus babyface dynamic of a mega card. It was a mega card. I mean, I love that they were able to draw 81,000 people, and they're going to go and try to do this next year. But for me, Brian, I just thought that there was maybe 4 or 5 matches I really liked, and then the rest of it was, just okay. And by the way, you can say the same thing for most WrestleManias too. 2 or 3,
Yes.
4 matches we like, and the rest, it's okay.
I mean, Eric Bischoff did say he didn't feel like a WrestleMania, though. He used that as a knock.
He could blow it out his ass. That guy. How about that? I heard the same thing. I saw what he said. It's like it felt like a super indie quality. I guess he would know. He ran TNA and WCW, so I guess he would know. He never drew 81,000 people. How about that?
Yeah, that is accurate. Well, that's the thing. Like from an in-ring quality, I agree. Like there were those few matches that stood out, but the card to me felt like it flew by, which I think is a testament to it being entertaining, like from top to bottom. There wasn't those sort of massive moments, whether it be upsets or surprises. I guess Saraya winning is sort of the closest thing to it. So to me, that is a highlight, just getting it done in the ring. From a low light standpoint, like, yes, I agree. They seem to be tight on times. Like, oh, where do we take time from? Like, oh, there's a women's match. Let's cut that match right now. Like that seemed to be their logic there. The other thing is the first hour or so, like, I don't know if we need JR for an hour on a show like this. Like, he seemed miserable. He was so upset and angry with everything going on in the ring that, like, it was distracting.
He's old.
Fair. But
yeah, you want to talk about disconnect.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, I think his contract's up pretty soon here. So.
But, like, he was that friend that you invite over, like, hey, I want you to watch this wrestling thing, and they're a curmudgeon, like, oh, this stuff's fake, right? Like, yes, like, stop, just watch. Like, that was JR on Sunday. Like,
when you look back on this show in 10 years, what are you going to remember the most?
I'll remember the FTR Young Bucks. I'll remember that matchup, but I'll also remember just the dynamic of the main event, which is just unconventional. That's what I'll remember the most. Like I just thought that was great. You guys.
I hated the main event. Hated it.
Oh, what was wrong with it?
Well, so the inconsistency of the storytelling. So I'm supposed to believe that the AEW World Championship is the most important thing to Adam Cole, and yet he seemed content to win on a countout early in the match. Like he did the move on the stairs to MJF. MJF is on the outside. Adam Cole, is your first match ever? You don't win the championship if MJF gets counted out. So, okay. So I'm like, all right, I can look past that. And then, you do the 5 more minutes thing, which is a nice little callback. They decide to wrestle and then after you get past the double clothesline, double pin, like it just kind of became an overbooked mess. 2 different ref bump spots. It became an overbooked mess to me where you got Roddy coming in there and Adam Cole's cool at first with Roddy. And then he tells Roddy to get out of there after Roddy kicked him in the dick, MJF in the dick. You're cool with that. But now Roddy's going too far when he hands you the belt and you decided to tell him to run out of there. It just, the inconsistency of the storytelling within that match was just all over the place for me. You had potential to have something really cool. And instead I'm like, wait, now, none of this actually makes sense or actually goes together because they decided to try to tell a story within the match, and they fell flat on their faces with the storytelling.